folks, it's go time. Before we get into this video, I did say it was go time. I'm gonna tell you how I realized that. Most of you have been saying over and over again, wait till soil temps are 50 degrees. There's another way to do that. Most grasses start growing when the soil temps hit 50 degrees. If you're looking out into your backyard and you don't have a soil temp, but you notice the grass is growing, then you know your soil temps have hit 50 degrees, because if the grass is growing, the weeds are growing, and if the weeds are growing, you need to put down your pre-emergent. Another thing is, you guys need to rake before you put down your pre-emergent. You need to have a place that the pre-emergent can get down and have contact with your soil. So make sure that you've raked before you go out there and start throwing down pre-emergent. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what go time is it's time to get out and put down your spring pre-emergent. Now, as I said before in recent videos, a pre-emergent is a weed stopper. It stops a lot of the weeds from coming in, but it doesn't stop all of the weeds from coming in. So what I'm going to be continuing to influence you guys in this video is how to put down a pre-emergent, how to follow the labels with your Scott spreader for the product that I recommended to you guys, and then how pre-emergents work. I also might include a little bit at the end about how grass works for our coming up videos on fertilizer. So there will be timestamps down below. I would encourage you guys to follow along. This is going to be a longer video, and let's get into it. So the reason why I started this channel though is a lot of those guys in the a lot of those people, Ryan Orr, Alan Hain, Connor Ward, are all located in the States, and a lot of the products that they use we can't get up here in Canada because we have chemical bans of chemicals we are not allowed to put on our lawn because they're harmful to the runoff into the environment. One of those is 2,4-D. If you notice, you can't buy weed killer in Canada. Another one of those is you can't buy the pre-emergent products they use in Canada. So today I'm going to be going through how to calculate your pounds per thousand that you're going to be applying your pre-emergent at in your backyard. So this here is my 20-pound bag of cornmeal gluten pre-emergent. I'm going to be applying this to my lawn. I'm going to be explaining to you guys what this product is and how it works. So in the States, they'll describe pre-emergents as chemical barriers. They'll describe them as a chemical barrier that you put down on your lawn to stop invading weeds. Basically what it is imagine it as an imaginary blanket. And when those weeds try to come up, they get stopped by the blanket. Now here's another detail that I haven't included in one of my videos, but I want to make sure you guys know. If you are seeding your lawn this spring, do not apply a pre-emergent, as that pre-emergent acts as a blanket for weeds to stop them from coming up. It also acts as a blanket for new grass, and new grass will not grow. You can check the label on the bag. It will tell you when you're able to seed after you apply this pre-emergent, but just follow that. If you're seeding, do not apply a pre-emergent. So what this is specifically is this is corn gluten. It is a byproduct of the milling of corn off the cob into the corn that you eat, frozen corn, other corn like that. This is a byproduct of that. So a lot of times you can find it pretty cheap. However, because it's not a chemical, it has to be put down at a very heavy rate. But I'm going to show you a way to get around that for your lawn. Another thing is, because this is corn gluten and it's a byproduct of corn, it does have fertilizer properties. So as I said in a previous video, this 8 stands for my nitrogen, this 0 stands for my phosphorus, and this 1 stands for my potassium. So this is not a fertilizer. Don't get this mixed up. This is not a fertilizer pre-emergent mix. What this is it's a pre-emergent that has fertilizer properties. So because this is a natural product, just like your Milorganite, it has those fertilizer properties built into it already. And they're not going to take them out because it helps your lawn. So don't get this mistaken for your fertilizer. This is not a synthetic. This is not a natural fertilizer at all. What this is this is a pre-emergent product that has fertilizer properties. And that's why you're going to see those numbers on the bag. Now, don't get that mixed up for those of you who are putting down the Scott's Weed Prevent product. That is a fertilizer mixed in with cornmeal or corn gluten. So that is a 2-in-1 product. So you gotta look for a label on the bag labeled 2-in-1. If the product is a 2-in-1, it's fertilizer and cornmeal mixed. This is not a 2-in-1. This is pure cornmeal, but cornmeal has fertilizer properties. So that's why you're gonna see those numbers on the bag. I know it's confusing. bear with me. Okay, but those of you who went out and bought this bag are probably looking at the label. If we look at the label here, it says that 24 kilograms covers 100 square meters and 57 pounds covers 1,000 square feet. There isn't even 57 pounds of product in this bag. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now, do not, I repeat, do not put this entire bag down on 1,000 square feet. That is just insane to me. That is insane. That is too much fertilizer. You're not gonna burn anything. It's not a synthetic fertilizer, so it shouldn't burn, but you're going to, it's too much. It's a waste. So what I have decided to do, and this is what I did last time, I'm gonna put this entire bag down on my backyard, and I'm gonna tell you guys how to calculate how to put an entire bag down evenly on your backyard. So we know that this bag is 27 kilograms or 55 pounds. So this bag is 55 pounds. So now we're gonna go measure the backyard to see how big our backyard is. Now for some of you, this is easy. You just get a tape measure and you go ahead and start measuring things. For me, it's not. And for most of you, I'm gonna show you a very simple way you can measure your backyard. No tape measure, no headaches, no property maps, just very simple. You're gonna pace it out. Now, most of you probably don't know is the average human step is about 3 feet. It's actually a little bit smaller, but we're gonna include 3 feet. So then our property is a little bit bigger than we think it is, because bigger will not prevent burning. You'll put down less product, you won't burn. A little bit smaller, you might have a chance of burning. So let's go pace out the backyard. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start at your starting point, you're gonna walk to your other point, you're gonna count the steps, and then you're gonna times that number by 3, and that should be the amount of feet of the length of your backyard. So if you guys see, I have a little jut in right here, and I am gonna fertilize this section, but I'm not gonna include that. I'm gonna start about here, and we're gonna count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 38. So as we can see, I got 38 steps. We're gonna round that up to 40. 40 times 3 is 120. That shows me a distance from here to my deck. The length of my backyard is 120 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 32, 33, 34. So I just took a step from the other end of my property over here, and I got 35. So then if you do a quick calculation, 35 times 3 is 105. Therefore, the width of my backyard is 105, and the length of my backyard is 120. So this is where you guys might learn some cool things about your backyard. The first time I measured this, I always thought my backyard was a bit of a rectangle. I always thought it looked like a rectangle. I think it looks like a rectangle on camera. However, I learned that my backyard is more of a square. The area of an object, of a quadrilateral, is length times width. So I'm gonna calculate the area of my backyard right now. So my width was 105, my length was 120. Therefore, the total square feet of my backyard that are 12,600 square feet. Knowing that my backyard is 12,000 square feet, I'm gonna do some quick rounding off of this number. I know that my backyard is closer to 10 than it is to 12. So I'm gonna put the size of my backyard at the moment at 11,000 square feet. I'm gonna round off that 600. I have done this many times before, and most of the time I've gotten a number close to 11. So I'm gonna assess my backyard at 11,000 square feet. So now that I know that my backyard is 11,000 square feet, let's get out the fertilizer and see how we're gonna apply this application to make sure we get this bag evenly down in the entire backyard. So guys, when we apply fertilizer, we apply in pounds per thousand. That's the way it's always measured. However, a lot of you are gonna make this quick mistake, and I'm gonna warn you against it. If you own any Scott spreader, their setting system is proprietary. So if you want to put down an application at 3 pounds per thousand, and you take this dial and you turn it to 3, that is not going to put down, I repeat, not going to put down an application at 3 pounds per thousand. That number 3 is a proprietary number for Scott's fertilizer bags only, unfortunately. So if you did get a Scott's product, a Scott 2-in-1 corn gluten product, you can go ahead and set it to the number that's recommended on the product if you want and put it down in your backyard. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you how to figure out how to put an even application, how to set this setting so you know what 3 pounds per thousand is, what 1 pound per thousand is, what all those calculations are on your Scott's spreader. So we're gonna go back to our area calculation. What was that? 11,000 square feet. And how much did our bag of fertilizer weigh? 55 pounds. So if you take 11,000 divided by 1,000, what does that equal? 11. So now you have 11 divided by 55, that equals 5 pounds per thousand. So we're going to be putting down this pre-emergent at an application rate of 5 pounds per thousand. So you can do this with anything. If you get the area, divide it by 1,000 and then divide that number by the weight of your fertilizer bag, you can get the pounds per thousand that you are putting into your lawn. So now you're all asking the question, you know how to put the pre-emergent down on your lawn, but you don't know how to set your Scott spreader to put down 5 pounds per thousand of this pre-emergent down at your lawn. So here's how I'm gonna tell you. So a big guy on the YouTubes here named Mr. Alan Hain, the lawn care nut, he figured out that at a normal kind of, they call it the run walk when you fertilize, at a normal run walk speed, you would have to set it to setting 5 1/4 on your thing. So if you want to put down 3 pounds per thousand, which is most fertilizers, at a normal run walk speed, you would set your fertilizer to 5 1/4. So here's how we're going to figure out how much each notch is worth on this fertilizer spreader. So we're going to divide 5 by 3, and then we can figure out how much you have to go up to calculate per pound of fertilizer you're putting down. So this is simple math here. We're going to go 5 divided by 3, 1.66. We'll call that 1.5. So now we have deduced that if 5 1/4 is 3 pounds, that 6 3/4 is 4 pounds. So now we have deduced that if 5 1/4 setting on our Scott spreader is 3 pounds, then a 6 3/4 spreading on your Scott spreader is 4 pounds, and an 8 1/4 spreading on your Scott spreader is 5 pounds. So we're going to set our Scott spreader to 8 1/4. We're going to put our product in, and we're going to put it down in our backyard. So just like that, give your fertilizer spreader a wash, and that's your pre-emergent application. So I was raking my lawn and I was pulling weeds out of the garden, and I found this. And I thought this was a perfect example to you guys about how cool season grass works. So if you look in here, all this stuff down here, these are your crowns. These are the crowns of your back. Each grass blade coming off here is all based on one crown. These are your root system that you're protecting, that you're fertilizing. You want to keep this root system going healthy, this low root system down here. And this is what is called a rhizome. So as you can see, this comes out of the main root system and spreads this way. This probably would have gone up into another grass plant. So this is how cool season grass works. It sends rhizomes just underneath the surface of the grass, and then sends another crown grass plant just up like this, and it creeps and spreads like that, and that is how your grass grows. So when you put down grass seed, you're only growing one of these, so that's why you have to put down a lot of grass seed. You're going to grow a whole bunch of these and hope they connect and connect and connect and spread. For my warm season friends out there, your grass grows with rhizomes, but a lot of your grass grows with stolons, which is just like a rhizome, except it runs along the surface of the soil instead of underneath the soil. This is why St. Augustine grass, which Alan Hain did a video about protecting St. Augustine grass, and you know, it's the sacred grass of the South. And I do think it looks really cool. It's a really cool grass, I think. I would love to mow it. Theirs is just lush to another level. And I would love to go and mow a St. Augustine lawn. I feel like that would be really, really cool to do. But for now, I'm up here. I can't deal with the heat of the south for too long, so I'm probably going to be spending the rest of my life up here in the north. And I'm going to be going at her, sending my cool season grass, my Kentucky Blue, my perennial rye, and my fescues. But hey, Alan Hain, if you're watching this, I would love to come down there and mow your lawn. That would be really cool. Now, I'm making this video to show you guys that pre-emergents are not that hard to put down. They're actually quite easy. As you could see, I did that in maybe a matter of an hour. And I think that's sometimes what people are scared about. When people start pulling out chems and math and stuff, people get scared and think that they can't do it themselves at home. I did that in under an hour. Just quick, simple math. Didn't even need to use a tape measure. Just a few multiplication. You could do it straight on your calculator and set that spreader setting and go ahead and throw down your pre-emergent. Finally, I want to end with a message to Mr. Alan Hain. Alan Hain, I 100% agree. Your grass is the alpha male grass. It is the superior grass. I agree. I love my Kentucky Blue. My Kentucky Blue looks beautiful, feels good on the feet. But a lot of times the alpha male people, the alpha male species, don't always look the best, but they do live the best, and they do survive anything. And I do agree that St. Augustine has to be the alpha male grass. But I do also want to end with a disclaimer that I do love my Kentucky Blue. So that's it. I hope this video has met you guys well. I hope you guys are staying safe with the current thing that's going on. And I hope you guys are keeping safe, getting out in the lawn, getting your work done, get your pre-emergent down now. Go time has started. As I said, the soil temps don't exactly have to be at 50 degrees, but if everything's growing, you know go time's here. So from the Great Green North, my name's Wade Murray. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are getting out into the lawn, and this is part 2 of my spring domination plan done. Tune in to the following videos. If you haven't seen the first video, go back and watch that one about raking your lawn. And from the Great Green North, my name's Wade Murray. Keep safe and keep it green.